This episode of Star Wars Republic is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast. Hey everyone, welcome into Star Wars Republic, our show on all things Star Wars, and of course our Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5 review. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burly of Burlyman Gaming. How you doing, Burly?
I'm okay. How are you, Expat?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk some Star Wars. And of course, before we go on and get into the review, I just want to let everybody know this will go up to our Patreon for the first 2 days in early access, and then it will go to our YouTube channel at The Arena Productions. Of course, our Patreon is at The Arena_podcast. So, just to let all of you also know that this is a spoiler review. So, of course, just want to let all of you know before we get into the topics and get into this review of Episode 5 of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you have not watched the episode, please go and watch the episode first before moving on with this video, because there's going to be spoilers galore in this, of course, as we go through and review the episode. So with that, let's go ahead and get in. I'm going to go ahead and show you. Yes, there we go. Dun-dun! And it's funny. We're going to get to this later in the episode, Burley, but I mean, you knew he was coming back.
Oh, yeah.
You knew the Inquisitor guy, the Grand Inquisitor, was going to be coming back. But and it's like, so anyway, let's start the review. So part 5, of course, you get the shot here on Coruscant. And of course, this is like pre-part episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Because of course Anakin still has, both, human arms and all. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to nitpick Burley about this. I mean, the CG, the de-aging was terrible. I mean, the de-aging on Anakin especially, but even with Obi-Wan, I mean, it was worse than the de-aging that they did in The Mandalorian, for like Luke and stuff. I mean, it was really bad. I mean, it was like they basically didn't do any de-aging at all. I mean, Hayden Christensen is 41 years old.
Yeah.
And back when he did Attack of the Clones, that was 20 years ago, right? And so he looks like he is today as playing Anakin in part 2 or pre-part 2, And I didn't like that at all. Did you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. No, like it looks so bad for him. Like
Yeah.
they had the de-aging. Go to Marvel here for a minute. They had the de-aging in Ant-Man,
Yeah.
and it looked good there for
Yeah.
Michael Douglas. You could nitpick, but it looked good. But here, it looks like, okay, we're going to put this de-aging, run for 5 minutes, go take a coffee break. It is what it is. McGregor, it didn't look as bad, but you can tell.
Yeah.
But like Hayden Christensen, it did not portray him in a flattering.
No.
It's like, I feel for the guy. The guy gets enough hate as it is.
Yeah.
This just is going to add to it.
Yeah. But the preface of this part, I mean, just surfaced throughout the episode. I mean, the teachings and the lesson that Obi-Wan gives to Anakin in this kind of like this sparring, fight that they're doing here. Basically, he's trying to teach Anakin that you have to, give in to the fact that you just want to, always, win. It's blinding you, and it was interesting as the episode goes on, and how Vader, of course, he's feeling this as he's seeing these flashbacks, and you see that a lot in this episode. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, the lightsaber duel and all was pretty cool, and being there on Coruscant and all, that was pretty cool as well. There's a lot of people out there that are complaining about, well, Coruscant is just a city planet, and there's supposed to be buildings everywhere. The background doesn't look like there's buildings everywhere, and who cares? I mean, it's like
Yeah.
in what was it in at the end of Attack of the Clones when you see the factories where Dooku goes to meet with Darth Sidious.
Mhm.
It's there's not a bunch of buildings there either. So yeah. So anyway, we get back. They're on Jabiim,
Yep.
and they get back there, and obviously you have, of course, the actor Nanjiani, there as well now. So yeah, so because he didn't have anywhere else to go, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting how he's supporting and all now, but
I'm
yeah,
still shocked that Reva just didn't kill him.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like that's like she's killed people for less. Let's be honest.
uh-huh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
She would have just killed him.
yeah,
I like that was something I didn't get because she's like, I got the information out of you. Why
yeah,
would you keep him alive?
yeah,
I'm not to say he is going to be the giant big threat to her,
yeah,
but
yeah,
she would kill him. And
yeah,
any other inquisitor I would feel would just kill him.
yeah, yeah,
They didn't kill him because of the actor. That's something I
right,
don't.
right.
It's like I hate when they do that.
Yeah. Anyway, but anyway, Leia goes in because
Mhm.
obviously the door closes on the facility, so they can't escape. So and it's because of Lola's little pet droid, her
Mhm.
toy, and yeah, because it has the the tracking device in it and all, and so it's messing with the system, and so she has to climb in there because she's
Mhm.
so small, of course, that she can climb
Mhm.
through there and go through all those cables and figure out what's going on. Yeah. So, she does that and all, but then of course they know where, you know, they are now. So they, of course, the Empire sets the course to Jabiim, and of course, as you can see here, Vader,
Mhm.
he's just like all raring to go now after that
Yeah.
flashback, of with Obi-Wan and stuff at the Jedi Temple. So he's like raring to go, and he's raring to get his revenge and raring to win, because
Yeah.
he's always got to win. I mean, that's the thing about the conflict is still there between Anakin and Vader.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like he's still, I mean, at this point in time, I still don't think that he's fully became, just all out Vader, He's
Mhm.
still got that conflict in him, you know.
Oh, well, you sense moments of Anakin and stuff
Yeah.
like when they meet in Episode 3. He is mostly Vader, but he's still Anakin because he just wants to sit and torture him,
Uh,
torture Obi-Wan with putting him in the fire and all that.
yeah, but then he pushes him out
Mhm.
and he doesn't
Yeah,
let him die.
yeah,
So I mean, he just want, he's gonna try to interrogate him
prologue.
more, but
Yeah.
so yeah. So, but yeah. So we go back, of course, and we see more of the duel. The lightsaber duel. During the sparring session on Coruscant and all. And it's like Anakin's just, Anakin seems to be toying with him there. But
Yeah.
then and then at the one point, he knocks the lightsaber away from Obi-Wan. It's like, you've lost. And that's where Obi-Wan's like, look, you're gonna have to try to get over your lust for victory all
Mhm.
the time. That's going to be your undoing. And then we see later, what happens, from that. But yeah, then of course we move on. Obviously, the doors are open because Leia is able to figure out what's going on because Lola, the little droid thing,
Mhm.
is starting to attack her, and then she grabs it. I mean, it was like you would have thought it would attack her more viciously, but it just like floating over, and she
And
just
now, out of all the time, now it decides to attack her. Now,
and then she just grabs it and like, oh, there's this little pin inside of her that's a tracking device. Oh, this thing, and it
oh,
pulls it out, and then she's
I see this easy little tracker.
well, she doesn't know it's a
Yeah,
tracker, but I mean, she just said, oh, there's this pin sticking inside of her. Okay, let's just pull it
yeah.
out. And she pulls it out, and then Lola becomes Lola again, and then she's able to figure out how to get the doors open again, where all the people, of course, are going to go, and
Yeah.
to get on the transport ship and all. But yeah, now let's get to you know, obviously, you know, before this all happens, they got to try to figure out what to do and all. And of course, as we know, this is the last episode for Tala.
Oh yeah.
She goes down. She goes down. With a fight. Uh,
Yeah.
but before this happens, obviously, we got to get to the conversation about Reva and Obi-Wan at the door. Because
Well, we we,
they're
we 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 should get back to Darth Vader at the ship with his conversation with Reva before we get there.
Go ahead, go for it, man.
Yeah. Because he brings her in and tells her to kneel and says, "You're the new Grand Inquisitor," and she's like, "Yay!"
Uh-huh.
She's like, and we're like, we're all first thinking, she's the
Uh-huh.
Grand Inquisitor,
Yeah.
so the other guy ain't coming back. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, like that's what I thought. I'll admit, me, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
And
So,
then
mhm.
and then I love it because she's like, we don't need to go down and storm there right away. We just need to lock and hold them because we put them in caged like that. They can't go anywhere. They try and go out the front way, they're dead.
Yeah.
And we won't have to because I know Obi-Wan, he will he will do something to save himself.
Yeah. Well, he basically tells them,
Mhm.
he tells all the people there. So, the Path Network that, I'm
Mhm.
going to give him, I'm going to surrender. And the leader of the Path Network, he's like, you're going to, you're going to go and surrender without a weapon. You're not going to have any weapon with you. And he's like, I don't need a weapon.
Yeah.
And obviously that's where we get back to the fight, or not the fight, but
Mhm.
like the sparring session on Coruscant. And, the fact that, you know, Obi-Wan is able to use the Force and take the lightsaber away from Anakin. Like he pushes him aside and then he's able to get it away from him. You know, and that's when he tells him, until you can, you know, come to the sense of, being able to understand that, you can't just, have this lust for victory all the time. And until you can overcome that, a Padawan you will still be. You
Yeah.
know, and yeah, but he goes to the door obviously and talks to Reva, and he comes. Of course, he's able to realize that she was a youngling there, because obviously how did she know that Vader is Anakin? Because Vader wouldn't have just you know generally gave out that kind of information. So he comes to the conclusion that
Mhm.
she was there. She was there during Order 66. And yeah, I just had to throw that image up. So for all of you, of course, watching, yeah, obviously, Darth Sidious and the clones, in Order 66, but yeah, she was there, and she gets chopped down by Anakin. So it's like, how did she survive that? So that's that's I guess a story for another day. But it's like, how did she survive that? If she gets like you know just stabbed with a lightsaber, and it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. But anyway,
Oh,
it,
she had a secret. She read on the Darth Maul how to survive being cut in half by Darth Maul
yeah, well,
audio
obviously
books.
she wasn't cut in half. But I mean,
But you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah. If you can get cut in half, yeah, and still survive, and be in
And look what
Solo,
happened to
yeah,
Anakin. You have his arms and legs chopped and burned off.
right, right, right. So obviously, a lightsaber is not that lethal, I guess now in Star
Yeah.
Wars canon. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's like if you can get chopped up and stabbed, but then again, I mean, it's funny, like Liam Neeson's character, in Episode 1, Qui-Gon, he gets just stabbed, by Darth Maul just that one time, and he dies, so
And he just goes,
it's weird.
"Ooh," I'm
Yeah,
dead.
exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway, this conversation, with Obi-Wan and Reva, it's he comes to the conclusion that she's hunting Vader. She's hunting Vader, and he's trying to convince her that we can do this together. We can stop this. We can end this. And like after he surrenders, and the stormtroopers bring him out and puts him on his knees and everything, and Reva's standing over him and all. He's like, this is, you can, we can do this together. It's like, because, and she's like, what makes you think that that I can do this or whatever? And he's like, basically, he's only going to think about me. Vader is only concerned about me. He's only thinking about me. He's not thinking about you.
Yeah.
And so what did you think of that?
So,
Yeah.
I like that. And then
Yeah.
I liked her banter back and forth with them, and her calling out, he was your Padawan. You and calling him out, and
Yeah.
she is right.
Yeah.
But also
Why didn't you
her,
save us? Yeah, because it's like she thought that Anakin was coming to save them.
well,
And
a lot of
obviously
them,
a lot of
did,
them did. Yeah.
because if I remember correctly, like in Revenge of the Sith, you see him come up to some younglings, and then they're like, "Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do?" And you see the lightsaber come out.
He pulls out the lightsaber. Yeah. So yeah.
He kills younglings, but like this, I just love. She calls them out, and it's like, yeah, but to be fair for Obi-Wan a little, like he thought he was dead because his master just gets one stab and he dies. Anakin's burning to death.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, she had a point there. It's like, where were you? Basically, why didn't you help us? And stuff like that. And it's like, I still like going back to think of episode 3. Where was he? Where was Obi-Wan again at that point? Because he had come. Go ahead.
I think he wasn't he following Amidala?
Well, he had gone to meet Amidala, Queen Amidala, or Senator Amidala at that time.
Padme, what?
Padme, yeah, Padme. Yeah. She, he went to go to see her and tell her, about that. But I mean, yeah, at the very time in the evening there of that attack, where was Yoda and Obi-Wan? They must have been at the temple or something, and not at the temple, I guess somewhere else. I don't remember, but
I think they were just about to meet up at the temple. I imagine.
I don't know,
because when they meet up, they talk about everything that's happened.
Yeah,
and
So anyway, of course, Obi-Wan was taken back inside, but of course he overtakes the guards and uses the blaster again. Uses the blaster.
So uncivilized.
Yeah. So anyway, he takes him out, and then he runs back, to the network, and they're able to get inside the transport ship, and then Vader goes through there. And boy, oh boy, that was a pretty cool scene with Vader, man. I mean, just using the Force to take down that transport ship, and then just ripping it open, But by doing that, obviously, he opened up a hole where inside it was a trick, basically. So, they had another ship within the ship, and so they were able to get away, which was kind of weird.
Well, he should have saw the second ship there. He should have. It was cool moment to just see that happen, but it was like, and you can even hear, like, you can almost feel Vader just being like, you were smart, you played me.
Yeah,
you can just kind of feel.
Yeah, and then of course after that, then they get away, and then of course we get one more flashback back to the the training on Coruscant. That's where Obi-Wan tells him, a Padawan you will still be, until you can overcome, your want for victory all the time and stuff. And then of course, lo and behold, who comes sneaking up behind him? Obviously, it's Reva, and boy, oh boy, I mean, just Vader. He's using the training from that time on Coruscant, basically. I mean, that was probably one of the main reasons why they showed this flashback
Yeah, oh yeah.
in the episode, was because he was just toying with Reva, and using the Force. Didn't even need a lightsaber, was just blocking everything and just stopping her, and
And dodging.
and dodging and all that stuff. And man,
Well, I love it. Like he gives her a quote unquote fair shot. He grabs her lightsaber, and it's a dual lightsaber,
yeah,
chucks one half back to her, and like,
yeah,
here, I've
yeah,
given you a chance. I
yeah,
know I can win. And
yeah,
he's just one hand beating her down. And
yeah,
she's just like, you can tell she's just like, I've got to win. I've got to win, or I'm dead.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
I love the fight, the fight between them. It was good.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to let everybody know that's watching this. Of course, below is our information for Patreon. So if you're interested, please go there. And of course, on our YouTube channel, if you're watching our videos, please hit that like button. That helps us with the
Yes.
algorithm as well, and with the analytics. So please, just take a second to click that like button if you like what you're watching, and if you like our content. So we would really appreciate that. So anyway, yeah, I mean, and then of course he overtakes. I mean, and then he stabs her, and you think
Huh?
it's like, okay, she's gonna die, right? I mean, she was stabbed as a youngling, and then he mentions the fact that you know, you know, I knew this, I knew, you know, I didn't forget
Mm-hmm.
about
Yeah.
you being the youngling there, and stuff, basically, but yeah, it's just another thing. It's like, yeah, she gets stabbed with the lightsaber, but she doesn't die.
No.
And then and then of course they're, you think it's all over and everything, and then of course, dun dun dun, guess who walks up? The old Inquisitor, Grand Inquisitor, and he's back, and of course, he's talking about revenge. It's like, your, your lust for revenge, and your, the the hate and all that stuff. It was, it was good in the beginning, but now it's tiresome,
We,
and
we
then
we knew
yeah,
you were going to do this, so we hatched this plan just to have you hang yourself. Basically,
yeah,
it was
yeah, and then
basically what they said.
yeah, yeah,
I loved it.
and then he takes the pin away, puts it on back on himself, and he's like, see ya, goodbye, Grand Inquisitor. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, so
Well, he also says to her, "We won't leave you here. We're gonna throw you in the gutter, like we
well,
found where we
yeah,
found."
yeah, it's like, we're, you're back in the gutter where we found you, and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
love.
But I'm so surprised that Vader didn't just kill her. But then again, it's like he says, "We have no use for you anymore."
Well, Vader could give two shits about her.
Yeah,
Let's be
yeah.
honest. Obi-Wan's the only thing he cares about right now.
Well, he doesn't give a crap about any of those inquisitors. He's just using them to get what he needs, so he doesn't have to do everything himself.
Yeah,
But so anyway, then of course they're on the transport ship, and obviously their hyperdrive is damaged, and they're being followed. But then Obi-Wan starts to, of course, sense that, Reva, she's there. And of course, she's agonizing in pain, but then she looks, and then she sees obviously the little piece that had been left when the guy that Obi-Wan had given, of course, the actor Nanjiani, of course, the
hmm
character, um, he dropped, the little communication thing that
hmm
had Senator Organa on it, that Obi-Wan was looking at earlier,
yeah.
pertaining to, of course, Luke and his location, and of course Leia, obviously, but of course talking about Luke. And so she grabs it, and she's able to get that information.
Yeah.
Now, what she does with that information, I have no idea. I mean, now is she still going to try to prove herself as an inquisitor, to get revenge on the Grand Inquisitor and all the other inquisitors, and to get revenge on Vader? Is she going to help Obi-Wan now? I mean, that's the question, because now, obviously, the final episode next week, Burley, is going to be an hour and a half. It's going to be a
Yeah.
long episode. And of course, now, as we see at the end of the episode here, of course, we go back to Tatooine and we see young Luke there sleeping. So, and now Obi-Wan knows, he senses it, there's something wrong. And then he says,
Mhm.
it's going to be okay, but is it really going to be okay? I mean, is Reva going to be the Reva that we've known throughout the series, or is she going to help? What do you think, Burley? What's your prediction here
Well,
for episode 6?
I don't think she's gonna go back to the Empire because she knows she's dead if she does. I think she's gonna try and more help because she'll because she knows who Luke is because they spell it out on the transponder there.
Yeah.
And it's like she's gonna be like, what's the ultimate revenge? Hiding his child from him and potentially having his child come back, kill him.
Yeah.
Like she's someone that would love that.
Yeah.
So she's gonna help Obi-Wan. She's still gonna die. I think she dies
Oh, really?
next episode. Whether it's to Grand Inquisitor, Vader, or someone else, she's dying next episode.
But does she die? Does she die helping though, or trying
I
to?
think she dies. I think she dies helping.
Yeah.
Helping Obi-Wan in the cause
Mm-hmm.
would be is my bet. I'm going with.
Okay, so let's throw some predictions out of left field out here. I'm gonna predict
Oh
we're gonna
no!
get a cameo from Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Neeson. Yeah, we're gonna get the Force ghost of Qui-Gon, and he is going to help. Yeah, Obi-Wan here on Tatooine. I think when it comes to dealing with Vader, dealing with the Inquisitors or something. I mean, yeah, Reva's going to be there. Maybe Reva might, give her life to help, uh, to help Obi-Wan, and to help the children, because she doesn't want to see other children. Like Obi-Wan was telling her there on Jabiim, it's like, do you want to see more children die, more killed, by Vader, and so maybe her last, effort, to redeem herself is maybe going to help Obi-Wan. And so, but then maybe we'll get a Force ghost here or something, some surprise, because, it's like, it's, I don't know, man. It's Disney Plus now, and with Star Wars and everything, they're going to throw something out there. I mean, like with the Mandalorian, we didn't see, like Ahsoka or Luke, being together in the Mandalorian with the Mandalorian in the Boba Fett series. We didn't see that coming, right?
Yeah.
With Luke training Grogu, So I mean, maybe we'll see Ahsoka. Maybe Ahsoka will, show up there, because Ahsoka obviously knows Obi-Wan, so maybe she will show up and help as well, as a kind of a surprise cameo. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Any last thoughts?
I think Qui-Gon. I definitely I can see that because they've been building to it, and it's one of the things since end of episode 3 when they tease that
Yeah.
you'll be able to communicate with Qui-Gon. Like that was one of the things I was always wanting.
Right.
Never freaking did. So I'm hoping we get Qui-Gon.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka, yeah, that's out there. It could definitely happen.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a mention of Ahsoka and maybe just a little scene with her. Because remember, they are doing an Ahsoka series. I know it's set well after, I think, all this.
Yeah, but they can make Rosario Dawson look younger, and have her, have her do a little cameo as Ahsoka, maybe, to help. Who knows, man? I don't know. I mean, I'm excited for it though. I really want to see what they're going to do at the end here. And like I said, it's an hour and a half, so it's going to be a long episode. So who knows what they're going to do? But yeah, looking forward to that nonetheless. So
Same.
Cool. So looking forward to episode 6 next week. So anyway, or part 6 as they call them here on the Obi-Wan series. But anyway, I've been your host Expat, along with my co-host Burly Burlyman Gaming, and we hope to catch you in the final episode of supposedly season 1. And maybe they're gonna do a season 2. I mean, it hasn't been finalized yet, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's heading that way. Who knows? But yeah. But anyway, next week we'll be doing our part 6 review episode for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So anyway, this has been our latest episode of Star Wars Republic. So we hope to catch you next week when we record the review for part 6. I mean, it's funny. It's like
I know
some
what you
are
meant.
episodes, some are parts. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, for part 6. So anyway, take care, and we hope to catch you in the next one. Okay,
Take care,
peace
everyone.
out.
Long live the Empire.